What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hopefully you are having a great Saturday and hopefully your weekend continues to be incredible. Now, we are starting to get reports about the largest stimulus package we may ever see in our lifetimes. This could be coming out in the next week. Yes, this week. This is going to be huge. This will be the biggest, the largest, the most expensive stimulus package we will ever see. Many are saying, according to reports, this stimulus package could exceed $3 trillion. Most are saying this will be higher than the CARES Act. This could potentially put the HEROES Act, that $3.4 trillion monstrosity of a bill, we could see this bill put that one to shame. Now, all reports do indicate that it's going to be very difficult to pass something in the $3 to $4 trillion range, but let's not rule that out. That could be a possibility, but according to the majority of reports, they are saying we will most likely see a bill that gets passed anywhere between $2.5 to $3 trillion. Again, it's a lot of money. According to a few reports, this is going to happen sometime this week. Many are expecting probably Thursday or Friday because the beginning of the week will most likely go to President Trump. It will probably go to Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, the Democrats in the House trying to get a impeachment done. That's what we're going to see. So the stimulus package will most likely be on the back burner until then. Now, what we know right now at this point is the stimulus talks are happening. We are getting reports that this package at this point is slowly starting to be put together, or the proposal, not necessarily the package at this point. The proposal, they want to get this in writing, have a more formal proposal that they can pretty much show Republicans, be like, this is what we got. Are you on board? Yes or no? So we will see. At this time, Congress is mostly focused on President Trump. That's what they're focused on at this point. So we will see if anything changes. But according to reports on Monday or Tuesday is when we will most likely see the House try to pass this impeachment. That's what we're seeing. According to reports, also, Vice President Mike Pence is still contemplating invoking the 25th Amendment. Nancy Pelosi is wanting Mike Pence to do this. She's also calling on President Trump to just resign. If you resign, according to this report, they are saying that Nancy Pelosi might just say, okay, if you resign, walk away, then we could talk about a potential pardon. But at this point, if he doesn't do that, then it will go to impeachment. Right now, what we are hearing from the White House is the one thing President Trump has always been worried about. Not just right now, but in the past few years, he has been worried about possibly going to prison once his term as president is over. If this is a worry of his, then getting a pardon, however he can get it, is what is currently being talked about as the best option for him. Now, just want to throw this out there. I am not saying President Trump is going to jail or prison. I'm not saying that. I'm just reporting the facts as to what current staffers inside the White House are saying. And this has always been a worry for President Trump. Well, I know if this was me and I was worried about this, I would do whatever I could to not go to prison. If that meant resigning 11 days before I'm done as a president, then I would do that. But again, maybe that's just me. I don't know what his plans are in the future. I don't know if he's done anything wrong. Okay, I'm not here to do any of that. I'm not here reporting on that stuff. I just want to talk about the stimulus, and what we're hearing is slowing it down, and that's the impeachment of President Trump. So, as we get into this week, we will most likely get more updates on this. Now, let's dive into the new updates on what we're hearing for potentially the largest stimulus package we will ever see in our lifetimes. So, here's what we know about the stimulus package. It will be bigger than the $900 billion stimulus package that included those $600 mini checks. It will be most likely bigger than the $2.4 trillion CARES Act that we got about 8 months ago. And this will most likely include more stimulus to the American people, which everybody can say right now, easily, the American people need. The American people got screwed. The American people got screwed in the last one. That $900 billion stimulus package, when $1.4 trillion went to government funding and billions went to other countries. If anyone says the American people didn't get screwed, I don't know if you've read into what's in the government funding bill. We got screwed. Let me know down in the comment section below. Were you happy with what the American people are going to receive, which many people still aren't getting? Many people still haven't received that $600 stimulus check, that big boost to the economy. No, they're still waiting. So, what's going to be in this new package? Well, it's going to have the $2,000 stimulus checks. That's what is in there. That's what Joe Biden promised. That's exactly what Nancy Pelosi's fighting for. Chuck Schumer's fighting for. Bernie Sanders wants this. AOC wants this. Kamala Harris wants $2,000 stimulus checks. If everybody wants this, oh, and I forgot Joe Biden. If everybody wants this, why will it not be in there? Right now, all indications pretty much point to the fact that it will be included. It's not going to be a $2,000 standalone stimulus check. It's going to be a $1,400 amendment to that $600 stimulus check, which means we're going to see a total of $2,000. As to who gets it, will it be for adult dependents? We don't know. It could, but we don't know. Will it be for children as well? As of right now, if they take the Cash Act, yes, it would be. But my guess is they're not going to take this Cash Act and throw it into a pot of more bills. They're not going to do that. They're going to take the principles behind the $2,000 stimulus check, and they're going to put that in to an overall bigger package. They're not just going to throw the Cash Act in, or at least I wouldn't anticipate they would. Republicans already said they don't like that. They don't support the Cash Act. So there needs to be some type of compromise at that spot. We also know there's going to be state and local government funding. Reports indicate this will be for at least $400 billion. I think at this point we can all agree states and these localities are struggling. But there needs to be language written into this bill that prevents, I'm not saying prevents states from using some of this money for pensions like California and New York will, or possibly will, and that's what Republicans are worried about. I'm saying put language in here that makes sure that these states are putting the majority of the funds into the areas that were hardest hit. Just like the PPP funding. We are being asked as business owners to put the majority of the funds back into hiring employees, paying for products and leases and things like that. So if we are being told to put the majority of the money back into those things, they should put the exact same thing into this proposal for state and local governments. I think that's fair, right? Let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think as to what should be written for state and local governments? Because right now, this is the issue. Democrats and Republicans cannot agree on state and local government funding. The next thing, we will see vaccine development and distribution funding. This has been a key priority for Joe Biden. He has said that he wants to ramp up the vaccine distribution because right now there's not enough vaccines being distributed. The government at this point is holding on to the second doses of vaccines simply because they are worried that if we send all the vaccines out and the states provide all the vaccines that are available to different people, when the second round is supposed to be administered, there might not be vaccines ready. So, as a precaution, this is what they're doing right now. However, Joe Biden says he does not want to wait. He wants to send all the vaccines out, get them out to the American people, and then hopefully that will quickly get Pfizer or Moderna, get their development team ramping up production. And so by the time everybody needs a second dose, they could potentially be getting it, and those doses would start to come in. Again, that's somewhat, I'd be hesitant to do that because I don't know, and I haven't looked into it, but I don't know exactly what would happen if you get the first dose and then you wait too long and then go and get the second dose. Would it still have the same effects? We don't know. I haven't seen reports on that, but again, that's probably not something they're trying to do. So my guess is we will see more vaccines. We will see a lot more funding for this, but it will also go to the development, the production, and the distribution. The next thing is the unemployment boost, or the unemployment benefits. Right now what we're seeing is, or what we're hearing, we haven't seen it yet, so sorry if I misspoke, but what we're hearing is we could see the $300 per week unemployment boost go from $300 to $600. As to when it would start, would it be retroactive to December 27th, like this current proposal is, the $900 billion proposal, or bill actually? Or would we see this go and start to be implemented after March 14th? Or would it start somewhere in the middle? We don't know. But what we are being told by all these reports is that if this bill comes out next week, or this proposal comes out, it will probably begin negotiations at that point. But what we are hearing is we might not see this pass until the middle, or the beginning to middle of February, which means if it passes sometime in the middle to beginning of February and the unemployment benefits end in the middle of March, okay, that only gives us 1 month. So that's only 1 month of a wait for that $300 boost. So that might be something that they're considering. Again, at this point, it's being written, but we don't have exact details on this yet. That will come when the bill is actually released, or the text of that bill is actually released. Also, we are hearing that this will not just be the higher amount, it will also be an extension of the 11 weeks. Right now, again, it ends on March 14th. If you are one of the 19 million Americans that are currently on some form of unemployment, you're probably thinking, well, what do I do on March 15th? I'm not going to have any money. What do I do? What you do is, you hope, Joe Biden's plan, this Building Back America, Build Back Better plan, is actually going to benefit you in some way. Hopefully it does. But again, right now we just don't know. There will also be millions for schools. That's exactly what they said. Millions for schools. Not billions, millions. As to how many millions, we don't know. There will most likely be student loan benefits in this bill as well. Right now what is being reported is Joe Biden is going to, okay, this is almost a guarantee, he is going to extend the student loan deferral program, which currently ends on January 31st. He will extend this. As to how many months, we don't know. It is also being looked into. It's a possibility there's some form of student loan forgiveness. As to how much, it will most likely be $10,000. As to who is eligible to receive this, right now, all indications point to the hardest hit individuals, low-income families. That is who is going to get the student loan forgiveness. If your family's millionaires, okay, multi-millionaires, you're probably not going to get a student loan forgiveness. You're just not. So they want to help out the people that are hardest hit. They want to almost entice people to keep going with your education, further your education, and potentially make more money. Now, just to warn you guys, more education does not mean more money. I've met a lot of people that are less educated than I am, make more money. I've also met a lot of people that are far more educated than I am and make a lot less money. So it's not about how educated you are through college, through the normal education. It's how educated you are in life. Do you continue to educate yourself? If you do, you read books, you learn on the fly, learn as you go, learn from mentors, you're going to be more successful than somebody that just goes to college, gets a job, and they stay there the rest of their life. I can almost guarantee that. Now, there will be assistance for small businesses. This will, as of right now, the reports are indicating this will most likely go to the hardest hit individuals and the hardest hit businesses, the ones that are hurting the most. These are going to be restaurants, hotels, theaters, gyms, and businesses like that. Those are the ones that really are having the biggest impact. Right now, with the restaurants being closed, because in many states, for example, Washington State, I know California is very similar, and New York and other states as well, you can go into a restaurant and you can order food, but then you got to get out. You cannot eat it in the restaurant. So that is impacting restaurants at this point. Theaters, everyone's saying don't go into a theater. You want to go into a gym? Well, sorry, you can't because they're all closed. So there will be more money there. As far as rental assistance, we still haven't received the first round of rental assistance, the first round of $25 billion. And now they're talking about a second round of rental assistance. Honestly, I think that's great. Because I came out and said this on multiple videos, $25 billion is not enough. $25 billion, according to experts, will be gone within the first couple of weeks. Right now, we're on, what is today? The 9th, January 9th. So we have, what, 22 days of this month, and then the eviction moratorium is over? Well, guess what? According to this, Joe Biden's plan is to extend the eviction moratorium. How for how many months? We don't know. My guess is, and again, this is just a guess, we will most likely see it extended possibly another 2 to 3 months. I'm saying 2 to 3 months because if it's not extended, people are going to be evicted February 1st. So I don't see that happening. But I do see it being extended about 2 to 3 months, maybe a little bit longer, probably not the rest of the year. If it's the rest of the year, my guess is landlords are going to be furious. Landlords right now are being heavily impacted. Landlords could lose their properties simply because, and their credits being shot. They are struggling. There are landlords out there struggling because their tenants aren't paying their rent. And so they can't pay their mortgage, or they can't pay their property taxes. They can't pay their insurance on the property simply because they're not getting this payment. So that's going to be big. So we will see more rental assistance. As to how much, my guess is at least $25 billion, probably $50 billion, maybe a little bit higher, but again, just don't know. And we will see an extension of the federal eviction moratorium. Now, here's a possibility. This is the last thing, is more of a possibility. We are hearing from multiple sources that liability protections will probably be thrown into the mix as a way to entice Mitch McConnell and Republicans to get on board with the larger stimulus package. If the package is anywhere over $1 trillion, which we know it's going to be, anywhere over $1 trillion, you can guarantee that many Republicans will not support it. But if it's, let's say, $2 trillion, which my guess is it's going to exceed that as well, my guess is liability protections will need to be in here. Democrats will have to pretty much throw Republicans a bone saying, hey, we're going to give you this. We're going to give you liability protections. We're going to give you, other things that you really want. What do you want, Mitch? What do you want? Let us know, because we'll throw that in there. But you have to accept our $2.5 trillion stimulus package the way it is. The way it is. We don't want to negotiate. We want to get this passed. We need to get relief to the American people. We need to get more funding to vaccine distribution. State and local governments need some funding, and they need it now. What do you want? We'll give it to you, but you have to give us exactly what we're asking for. That's what we're seeing. That's what we're hearing. So, now, this is just what is coming from multiple reports out the last couple of days. Kind of combined them all together to really give you an idea of what we could see. Possibly Thursday or Friday. Wednesday is going to be the 13th, which is going to be 1 week ahead of the January 20th inauguration. So we could potentially see it on Wednesday. I don't see it happening any sooner, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be even longer. I don't think it's going to go into the following week, because I think Joe Biden wants to get it out there, show the Republicans what we're working on, what we're seeing, and then, hey, do you want to accept it or not? So, now, I wanted to kind of give you this, update so that you understand where we're at. Because right now, my guess, again, this is my guess, I'm just expecting this. My guess is we could see something very close to that $3.4 trillion HEROES Act. I think we're right there. I think Joe Biden is comfortable with proposing a bill. Nancy Pelosi is, my guess is Chuck Schumer is as well, that they're comfortable proposing a $3 trillion plus package. If we see that, we could see a lot of Republicans push back. We could even see Democrats, push back as well. Because when the $3.4 trillion HEROES Act was actually being proposed and was passed by the House, many Democrats didn't really support the bill. They thought it was too big. They thought it was too large, had stuff that didn't pertain to COVID, but yet Democrats just threw it in there. So I think something very close to that is going to be proposed, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. But what I want you to know is all indications is this is going to be the largest stimulus package we will ever see. This could potentially be the last stimulus package that we see. If it is, and we can get through this pandemic, awesome, great. I'm going to miss you guys when I don't do, any additional stimulus updates, but I would like to get through this. I'd like to get through this together. So just want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have a wonderful Saturday evening. Have an incredible Sunday. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will probably do an update tomorrow morning if anything else changes. So thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.